Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? You've tuned into Rules for Rebels, and I wanted to share an article that I saw today on Forbes about a YouTuber who I'm actually a big fan of, and this is Graham Stephan. You guys may be familiar with him. If you watch my channel, his channel would probably appeal to you as well. And also, I think I've talked about him a bit in videos. I've kind of gotten turned on to him over the past couple of months. I started watching a lot of his content, and for anybody who hasn't seen him, kind of like what, maybe I'll kind of scroll down to the article while I'm rambling a bit. Even though he has a nice car, he's not really a douchey YouTuber, and he's not a blowhard, and he's not somebody who's selling dreams of dropshipping. He's actually very realistic, and he's actually kind of into the FIRE lifestyle, which I know myself and a lot of you guys are into as well. And he's actually pretty frugal. I think cars are the one area that he kind of splurges on a bit. But for anybody who hasn't seen his content, he's a real estate agent out in California. He's a realtor. He also is a real estate investor himself, and he's also an entrepreneur. You know, those professions are already somewhat entrepreneurial, but he's got a popular YouTube channel. He does affiliate marketing. He's kind of always looking for an angle, always looking for a way to make money. And what I really like about him is he's authentic. He's kind of no bullshit. He's not really pitching kind of nonsense bullshit dreams of Lambos. The advice he gives is realistic, and he's also kind of got a slant towards kind of personal finance and millennial stories, millennial issues, and things like that, which is something I kind of try to touch on this channel from time to time, and something that kind of interests me as well. And I like seeing kind of the quote-unquote real people out there get some attention and kind of get the attention that they deserve. Another guy I really like is Glenn Zubia. Last fall, I had a chance to sit down and hang out with him at Ecom Chicago, which is actually coming up relatively soon. I've already started kind of getting the early sign-up invites and things like that. But he's another guy who documents everything he does, is super authentic, really nice, genuine guy. And he had a couple articles written about him in Forbes and I think Money magazine. So I like when these types of guys kind of get the attention that they deserve. So anyhow, the article comes to us from Forbes, came out today around lunchtime, and it's titled, How This Real Estate Agent Made $100,000 in 1 month from His YouTube Channel. This was written by Jeff Rose, and I'm going to link to this down in the description box below for you guys. And it goes as follows. So, would you like to make a lot of money with a YouTube channel? A lot of people would, and many are trying. Motivation comes from the YouTube success stories, and one of those stories is Graham Stephan, a real estate agent who made well over $100,000 in just one recent month from his YouTube channel. If you want to make money on YouTube, Graham is definitely an example to follow, not the least of which because he shares his strategies in serious detail. And, I was actually heading home from the beach on Saturday. I went to the beach by myself. My girl had to work, and none of my friends could go. So I hate Chicago Beach. I'm getting off on kind of a rant here, but I went to 49th Street Beach and then 31st Street Beach. I don't really mind North Avenue and like Montrose. I normally prefer to go out to like Southwest Michigan, but man, Chicago beaches for the most part are garbage. So I didn't last long, but as I was driving home, I was watching a Graham Stephan video talking about kind of like breaking down the psychology behind Tai Lopez's videos. And he actually had like a ton of great insights into like why Tai Lopez does everything that he does, like why he talks about living in a mobile home to relate to his audience. He talks about kind of the casual humble brags he does when he's shooting a video, which is like, oh yeah, that's my Lambo behind me. He just kind of says it in passing, but like, oh, that's my Lambo behind me, to kind of show that like he's an authority, or if this guy has something, maybe I should listen to him. And also, how Tai Lopez is like always walking around. He kind of talks about how when he's walking around and the scenery is changing, it kind of, even if subliminally or whatever, it kind of keeps your mind engaged because the scenery is changing and it's not like one static wall behind you. But he's got a lot of great insights into like business psychology, and he just puts out great content, great on-camera presence, just a really cool guy. But anyhow, Graham Stephan is a riveting speaker to say the least. I watched his How Much I Made from 10 Million Views in 30 Days video in preparing for this article, and I didn't notice until the very end of the 15-minute presentation that it was produced in his kitchen. He doesn't promise everyone can make it big on YouTube, but he freely shares what's worked for him, as well as pitfalls to avoid. And here's the video, How Graham Stephan Made $100,000 in 1 month from his YouTube channel. I'll link to this article as well as the video if you want to check it out. Let's start with the fact that Graham's primary career is real estate sales. He launched his YouTube channel in December of 2016, mainly because he loves talking about money, and he thought it would be fun to do it on YouTube videos. On the channel, Graham talks about investing money and shares strategies that are working for him. He uncovers financial independence, early retirement, house hacking, credit and savings, money. Along the way, he got excited at the potential to make money on YouTube from watching other successful YouTubers. On November 7th of last year, Graham got more than 1.2 million views on a YouTube video he made about JP Morgan Reserve credit card. That one video went viral, and he claims he made $7,293.02 as a result. It's sometimes so random which videos YouTube decides to push, because wow, I did not expect that video to get so many views, Graham confesses. And I find that weird as well. You know, for any of you guys who even have a mild curiosity about YouTube, start making, create an account to start making like throwaway videos on. I have a couple accounts like this. And like if I buy some fish from Costco, like I'll make a video reviewing the fish. If I buy something from the dollar store, I'll make a video reviewing it. And you'd be amazed, like sometimes like, I think I had one video that was like reviewing some tuna fish snack cracker packet I bought from the dollar store. The thing got like 46,000 views. So you never know what's going to take off on YouTube. That definitely is true. It goes on to say, as a result of that video, a lot of people asked him how much money he's made on his YouTube channel altogether. He broke down how much he made during the entire year of 2018. That's revenue from all sources on the channel: ad revenue, program sales, speaking engagement, Amazon affiliates, and sponsorships. His total revenue for the year, he disclosed, $253,318.02. That's awesome for YouTube. Think about it, that's not even counting his real estate career and everything else he does. Graham then set out to do something that seemed insane at the time: create videos that generate over 10 million views in 1 month. A screenshot of the 30-day period, March 25th to April 23rd, 2019, shows nearly 69 million minutes of watch time on nearly 10.3 million views for the month. Mission accomplished. Translating 10 million views into 100,000 in revenue, an additional screenshot indicated that the monthly revenue generated by 10 million plus views came to $103,740.48. That works out to be roughly 1 cent for each view. Both traffic and revenue vary dramatically from one day to the next, but the two are closely correlated. A large number of his views generally translate into higher revenue. Whether or not this is actually sustainable over the long term, I have no idea, Graham confesses, with a strong dose of humility. It could just be a 1 month off. That's absolutely ridiculous. And that is true. That's one of the things. It's not really a secret. Everybody kind of knows this about YouTube revenue. But I would say for about a 2-year period, my YouTube ad revenue was bringing in about $2,400, $2,500 a month, like consistently, like not a 1 month spike, but like month in after month out. I remember I had 1 month that just absolutely blew my mind. It was $4,500, and I was like, shoot, man, this is like, I could live off this alone pretty comfortably. That was a 1 month thing. It quickly faded down, but it consistently did $2,500 a month for probably another 6 or 8 months. And then, at one point it was down to $700. Then it was hovering around $1,100 or $1,200. I haven't checked in a while. I've been kind of trying to take my focus off of the money aspect and just kind of do it for enjoyment and figure the money will come. I've been meaning to kind of check back in just because I have been kind of more active with the daily weird product videos and some other stuff. But I'm guessing I'm probably between like $800 and $1,200 right now. However, since the 10 million views came in April, the channel has kept a similar pace through mid-June. He reports May was $87,500 from ad revenue, and June is at $62,000 from the 1st through the 17th, and that's not including sponsors, course sales, and other products which push it over the $100,000 mark. Now, I haven't checked Graham's, we could probably check it right now, but last I checked, he was at like 300 or 400,000 subscribers. I'm guessing, like with this article coming out, as well as just him growing as fast as he is, that it's probably substantially higher. We'll take a look in just a moment here and see how many subs he's actually got at the moment. Let's see. But now that Graham has these results on his own YouTube channel, he believes it's possible for others to do. As long as you put out honest, good content, you're consistent with it, and you treat people with respect. About Graham Stephan, as is obvious from the title of this article, Graham Stephan is a real estate agent, but might be best to say he is a serial entrepreneur. What he doesn't have is a background that would hint that YouTube success is somewhere on his resume. In fact, he never even went to college and describes himself as a poor student. His first job at age 13 was at a marine aquarium wholesaler that would import and export exotic fish and coral. His job was to take pictures of the inventory that came in, Photoshop it, and then put it on their website. He was paid $1 for each photo and found he could do 20 to 35 per hour. That gave him an hourly income as high as $35, serious money when you're 13 or 14 years old. He found he easily earned $100 or more in just a few hours of work each day. That job ended when he was 16 after he began a short-lived career as a drummer in a rock band, but by senior year in high school he realized that wasn't going to be his future. He decided instead on a career in real estate sales. It was 2008 at the beginning of a really bad time in the housing industry. He got to start focusing on an area of real estate most agents ignore, leasing. The commissions on those deals are notoriously low, generally around $500, but for an 18-year-old who had few other options in life, that was real money. Similar to his maritime aquarium wholesaler gig, he began noticing that real estate agents didn't have good photography on their lease listings. He offered to take pictures of listings by other agents in his office, Photoshop them, and put the ads on Craigslist. Under the deals he made, his compensation would be the commission for representing the tenants who responded to his Craigslist ad. That was a unique way he launched his real estate career and a strategy that grew steadily. He eventually did begin selling houses. By the time he was 27, he claims he's sold more than $120 million worth of real estate in the previous 9 years, but that didn't prepare him for his YouTube venture. Graham Stefan's YouTube start. YouTube success did not come overnight. In looking at Graham's recent numbers, it's important to realize that he's been at it for 2.5 years. It was a slow start. During the first year of operations, he spent 40 to 50 hours per week making videos, even though they weren't generating much revenue. It was a full-time job, but it generated just $26,000 in revenue in 2017. Worse, it took time away from his primary occupation of selling real estate, but he enjoyed making videos, so he continued. And I think one good lesson we can take away from that part, I made a video about this a while back. Feel free to search for it. If I'm not too lazy, maybe I'll find it and post it in the description below. But I made a video, I think it was titled something like Nothing You Start Doing Is Going to Be Worth It at First. And it was kind of how, like, when I started Amazon Merch, when I started a lot of things and talk about the income, people are like, oh, fuck that, it's not worth my time. Oh, that's not worth my time. You're not making very much money for how much time you're putting in. And my point is, when you first start doing something, you're likely not going to be making money. Most things don't take off overnight. It's going to take some time to get your name out there. It's going to take some time through trial and error of figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And if you always give up because the ROI isn't worth the time you're putting in, you're never going to make money because you're never going to stick it out long enough to kind of get past that initial point. Moving on, as it turns out, enjoyment may be one of the critical success ingredients. The worst thing you can do if you want to make money on YouTube is to enter it with the idea that you want to make money, says Graham. The money is a byproduct of doing something that I really enjoy. He also cautions against a widely held notion about YouTube. Videos are not necessarily a passive income source. To succeed, you need to continually churn out more videos. For example, Graham reports only about 20% of his YouTube revenue comes from existing videos. The rest, the big money, comes from his newest videos. Graham also believes that much of the traffic to older videos is a result of the newer ones. And I think that's true. You know, people see a new video that they like on a current or trending topic. They like your content. They like how you deliver information. And then they go start watching your catalog. He believes if he were to stop generating new content, views of older videos would drop off, and I think that probably is true. He's quick to point out that during at least the first few months he had his channel, it went from generating pennies a day to just a few dollars a day. That's a small return on videos that took several hours each to create and edit. It appears that just as with any other type of business, a YouTube channel takes time to develop. After a year of launching the channel, he had about 80 videos on it, generating an average of about $200 per day. That translates to an income of roughly $6,000 per month. Good things were starting to happen. Making a YouTube channel work for you. Graham Stephan admits that the amount of money he's making on his YouTube channel exceeds the typical YouTube channel revenue by a lot, but how much you can make will depend on your general topic area as well as the consistency in which you turn out new content. In fact, Graham emphasizes the importance of churning out new content on a regular basis. It not only provides a steady stream of videos for your regular viewers, but each one represents an opportunity to generate a spike in viewership and revenue, and each such spike raises the daily revenue going forward. Since launching his YouTube channel, the long-term trend shows a consistent pattern of plateaus and peaks, followed by higher plateaus and then peaks. Notice the first spike in viewership about the middle of the chart. So let's scroll this down so you can kind of see. Notice the first spike in viewership at around the middle of the chart. It was from a JV Morgan reserve credit card video last November. Prior to that video, the channel had been consistently earning $300 to $500 per day, but after that video went viral, daily revenue increased between $1,000 and $2,000 per day. Since the second spike in April, his daily revenues have increased again to the $2,000 to $3,000 range. It indicates a strong correlation between a high-performance video and a subsequent increase in regular earnings. The peaks come from videos that go viral, though again, Graham warns there's no way to know which ones they will be or when it will happen. But there's been a clear pattern of activity, rises to a higher level following a viral video. What's the secret? What's the secret behind a steady upward progression? If someone watches one of your videos and enjoys it, chances are they'll return to watch others, Graham says. If you have a video with 1 million views, chances are between 10 and 20% of those viewers will click through to your other videos. Monetizing your YouTube channel. In terms of calculating how much a YouTube channel makes, it's so important to understand that advertising rates differ from one channel to the next. There's so many factors to take into consideration along that front, and these include the type of channel, the topic of the video, the length of the video, the watch time, how many ads are in the video, what advertisers are willing to bid for the video. The last point is particularly important. Graham warns that there are videos that generate a high level of views but very little revenue. That's because the videos are not advertiser friendly. Still, another issue is competition. He cites gaming videos as an example. They're advertiser friendly, but there's so many gaming videos on YouTube that advertisers can afford to lower their rates on the category. But he confirms that finance is a relatively small niche with high revenue potential. Wink, wink, guys, he's giving you a hint there. It's safe, clean, family-friendly content, which is why he believes his channel earns more than most. As Graham puts it, talking about money makes money. One of the insider secrets to YouTube's success is convincing viewers to click the like button. Something as small as getting viewers to just destroy the living daylights out of the like button means a lot to my channel and helps with the YouTube algorithm dramatically. And I will say, Graham is fantastic at calls to action. I'd encourage you guys to watch a few of his videos. He tells people to hit the like button, but it's not just like, hey guys, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button and subscribe. He might be talking about something like the 5 ways to save money are, earning more, spending less, doing this, and hitting the like button, and then he'll have an icon come up and a ding, and he does a really good job of putting it into the content and kind of making it funny and engaging. And call to actions are incredibly important. I think it's something like if you just make a call to action, people are like 70 or 80% more likely to do something. And Graham goes on to say, and if they're not already subscribed, getting views to also hit the subscribe button as well. Both are a major part of promoting a YouTube channel. Content frequency also matters, so he makes it a point to add about 3 videos to his channel per week. Graham also emphasizes the ridiculously low overhead involved with YouTube videos. There's 0 overhead associated with this, he reports. There's no advertising, no employees, no recurring expenses. It's just me, a camera, and my garage or kitchen doing 100% of the work. That reality is consistent with one of Graham's most basic business philosophies, that less overhead equals more profit. Just like lightweight cars go faster, he says, lower overhead companies have more room to quickly adapt and aren't as impacted by revenue dips. Making YouTube videos fit neatly within his strategy. What you need to know if you want to launch your own YouTube channel. Video preparation is a major factor and it's commonly underestimated. Graham says it takes about 10 hours to produce a 10-minute video, or about 1 hour per minute. To the casual observer, it may seem as if he simply gets in front of the camera and talks about topics off his head, but that's not remotely close to the truth. Time needs to be spent researching the topic, filming and editing, and adding visual effects. If you're going to make YouTube videos, you have to be prepared to invest the necessary time. Many YouTubers use their channels to promote programs, products, and services, and so does Graham, but he's quick to point out that viral spikes in viewership don't translate into higher sales. It has He has 2 programs offered through his YouTube channel. The YouTube Creator Academy shows viewers how to grow their YouTube channels and how to make money. The second, the Real Estate Academy, teaches viewers how to become real estate agents and grow their business. Sales of the 2 programs did not increase with traffic spikes. Graham surmises that 80% of his traffic that's made up of non-subscribers. The very viewers who cause videos to go viral don't buy his programs. Since they're new to the channel, they don't know who Graham is or even if he's legitimate. That makes them highly unlikely to purchase one of his programs. The program sales seem to come almost entirely from his subscriber base. As regular viewers, he has much greater credibility among that group. And that's actually something really interesting that Graham touched on in that Tai Lopez video I was talking about. He talked about how Tai Lopez kind of teases you with information throughout the video. And at the very end, he'll be like, here's 2 little tips, and you know what? I don't want this video to go too long. For the rest of it, just go over to my website, and you can find the information there. And then at that point, it's a small amount of people who have watched till the end, but those people are very invested and engaged, and those people are going to do what Tai Lopez wants to do, which is give them their email address. And now he can continue to market to them, and he's already kind of established himself as an expert and built a rapport and all that other good jazz. Moving on. The YouTube circle of life. Graham believes that a high percentage of non-subscribers is because YouTube pushes content out to a general audience. If a person clicks through to a particular YouTube video, then YouTube recommends 20 identical videos to the same viewer. It's like the algorithm then assumes that the viewer is partial to that type of content. Graham refers to this as a circle of life on YouTube. Graham confesses that about 60% of the views on his channel received in his 10 million views per month came from just 4 videos, and that success of each seems to come out of nowhere. Video shelf life. Graham cautions that successful videos tend to have a shelf life of about a week. After that, both viewership and revenue drop off dramatically. YouTube, it seems, is constantly searching for fresh content, though a particular video can go viral and it will only last for a few days. Then the algorithm moves on to other videos. That naturally is a major reason for churning out new videos. And I would actually somewhat disagree with this, or at least I'd want to add one more point to it. I actually saw a study a while back that said like YouTube videos actually kind of start like cranking up around the 14-day period. Like the study basically found that initially you're not necessarily going to get all the views. Anywhere from like 2 weeks to maybe even 2 to 3 months after the fact, the videos are going to kind of continue to be shown more in sidebars and recommended more. Now, Graham has a huge audience, so naturally when he posts a new video, he's got a lot of subscribers who are initially going to watch that video. And, you know, maybe people aren't tuned into YouTube every day, and maybe it takes them a day, 2 days, 3 days to watch it. So I think after Graham makes a video, he probably will see a lot of traffic, a lot of views, a big spike for a few days to a week after the video, and then it kind of dies off and just kind of goes into search and people watching his old catalog. But from somebody like me who doesn't get a ton of videos right off the bat, videos tend to do better down the road. You know, I might have a video that... sorry, I got interrupted there. My girlfriend coming in from work interrupting the video. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, my videos don't get a ton of views initially, and a lot of people kind of talk shit sometimes, or at the very least nicely point out that, like, dude, how do you got like 88,000 subscribers and you get like 200 views on a video? And it is kind of weird. I had one video go viral years ago and is now finally starting to die off. I'd be curious to see how much money that video made. I'm guessing into the tens of thousands of dollars. It makes up the vast majority of my revenue, and I think in like 2016, 2017, I made about 34 grand off of YouTube, and the vast majority came from this video. So I bet you this particular video has done tens of thousands of dollars in revenue, but people often kind of comment to me about the low kind of watch count, thumbs up, and comments to subscribers, and I think it's kind of as a result of that viral video, and I kind of get recommended in sidebars a lot. But my videos tend to do well down the line. You know, I might have a video that only gets 90 views right off the bat, but if you check back on it a couple months later, it may have, you know, anywhere from 1,500 up to a few thousand, and some of them will go big and wind up with like 40,000 or something like that. Moving on, Graham cautions that successful we talked about the shelf life. Conclusion. So let's wrap this up. Conclusion, there are 2 interesting conclusions about Graham Stephan's YouTube story. The first is that there are people making money on YouTube, and even a lot of it. But the second is that it will take a lot of time and effort and plenty of experimentation. You need to find that right topic area, then learn to create videos that are both informative and add value to the viewers' lives. And then you have to turn out a lot of them on a regular basis. If you can master that combination, you can join the ranks of successful YouTubers like Graham Stephan. So I'll link to this article. Hopefully you guys found this enjoying. You know, this is a dude I follow. Maybe some of you guys follow him as well. But I just thought it was kind of a cool article, and I like to see YouTubers I like and kind of authentic people kind of get some recognition and things like that. I imagine his channel is going to continue to grow even more after this article and kind of the attention that it gets them. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you guys watch Graham, let me know your thoughts on his channel. I'm a big fan of him, and I'll link to his channel in addition to this article down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another episode of Weird Products Daily.